Tonight on SpeedWeek, Montana hits the target as he leaves the gridiron for the fast lane. Marlin hopes to hit the jackpot this weekend at Talladega. And these rookies are ready to hit the big time at the Brickyard. SpeedWeek hits the ground running next. Hi, everyone, and welcome to SpeedWeek. I'm Bob Jenkins. The first real sign of spring is upon us. Unfortunately, that means rain, and will have its effect on many of last weekend's racing activities. The second sign, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is open for practice. Rookie orientation, that is. And Gary Lee is at the track with a look at this year's Harvest of Talent. Gary?
Thanks, Bob. In the 14-year history of rookie orientation, over 100 drivers have participated in the program, 74 of whom have found a starting berth in at least one Indy 500. Let's meet some of the members of the class of '95, some of whom have butterflies the size of condors. Under the tutelage of three-time Indy champion Johnny Rutherford, the rookies are given the chance to run in light traffic conditions under the observation of USAC officials. For those who catch on, 3 of the 4 phases of the rookie test can be completed this weekend before the veterans arrive next Saturday. 2 years ago was Nigel Mansell. Now it's Christian Fittipaldi who makes the move from Formula One to the Brickyard. With a 10th place finish at Phoenix in his oval debut, Christian is rapidly adapting his style and has a family tutor at his disposal.
I am always going to get a straight tip from my uncle, but I have to admit that at the end of the day, I race against him, and I know that he's gonna try and help me as maximum as possible. I'm out there to try and beat him, and I'm sure he's out there also to try and beat me.
This F3000 protege of Jackie Stewart had Formula One in his sights, but a chance meeting with Jim Hall last year at Michigan led to a test drive. Before he knew it, Gil de Ferran was Indy bound.
I really could not refuse it. It was such a good opportunity to be involved with Jim himself, who is a legend by his own right, with Pennzoil, which is one of America's most traditional racing sponsors. That it was a really opportunity that I couldn't even think about turning down.
These gentlemen, no doubt, will be asked 100 times during the month, how does it feel to finally be here? So we'll be the first to inquire.
It's like a dream comes true. When you are a kid, you dream to be a race car driver. You dream about the Indy 500, the most important race in the world. And the first time that you drive into this place, you say, wow, it's amazing.
For a French guy, it's kind of magic, you know, because even in Europe, I mean, this place is so well known, it's a legend. So it's very important to me to be here, and it's the very beginning. So I have a lot of respect, you know, for the place.
Well, this is impressive. It's amazing, the place itself. I imagine when all the people listening here, it's going to be completely different.
Well, it's definitely an incredible feeling. Just to be here, cruising at this speed. At the moment, we are a little bit slow comparing with the fast guys, but the feeling is already great.
Rookie orientation opened under clear skies and mild temperatures, but the crews and drivers will want to get a lot of work done today because the forecast calls for rain the rest of the weekend. One promising rookie, Parker Johnstone, is not here. His Comtech team, powered by Honda, withdrew from rookie orientation because of a lack of sponsorship funding. It's ironic, though, that in spring practice, he turned a lap here at over 232 miles an hour. I'm Gary Lee, reporting for SpeedWeek.
Thanks, Gary. Coming up next on SpeedWeek, Cheever comes oh so close in Nazareth.
Well, I had 4 aces in my hand, and right at the last minute, that ace turned into a
2. Recently retired NFL quarterback Joe Montana has made it official. He'll partner with IndyCar's Chip Ganassi Racing.
This happens to be one of the passions of mine, is I'd love to be able to feel that car and be in it and be going around the track, but it's impossible. So the next best is an association with someone that I know is on the up and coming. We grew up 6 miles from each other, and got 2 great young drivers and nothing but a positive future, and I look forward to being a part of it.
Montana will be involved with the team's marketing programs, business promotions, and sponsor relations. The Bosch Sparkplug Grand Prix at Nazareth was one of those events hampered by rain, but most of it was during practice and qualifying. On Sunday, however, Derek Daly tells us it was liquid of a different nature that took the byline.
Robbie Gordon used his 3rd career pole position to jump out to an early lead on this unusually fast 1-mile oval. Paul Tracy was the first to crash when he was drilled into the wall by Jimmy Vasser coming out of turn 2. His left front suspension was damaged beyond repair, and Tracy has now had 3 DNFs to go along with his superb win in Australia. Tracy's teammate Michael Andretti and inside front row starter Jacques Villeneuve just took over the first half of the race, each leading 37 laps. Michael became the only driver to lead in all 5 races this season. Jacques got the bonus point, however, for leading the most laps this time round. Team Green also got the best fuel mileage, delaying the need for their first pit stop until lap 92. With 46 laps remaining, the drama really began to unfold. With Emerson Fittipaldi out of sync after pitting under green, Eddie Cheever worked his way past Fabi and Stefan Johansson and set his sights on Villeneuve's lead. As Eddie pushed the Copenhagen car to the front, car owner A.J. Foyt decided to gamble. He would go the rest of the way on the fuel that he had on board. Cheever got his first big break on this caution, caused by Michael Andretti's loose front wheel. During Andretti's stop, the right front was never secured, and he darted from the pit warm-up lane and smacked the outside wall to end his day. Caution number 2 was this hard crash by Gilles de Ferran's Pennzoil Reynard. De Ferran rode high on the outside retaining wall, sending the right front tire bouncing across the racetrack. Gilles climbed out unhurt. That set up the proverbial 7-lap dash to the finish, with Cheever holding a wide margin over Fittipaldi and Villeneuve. Suddenly, Cheever slowed just 1.5 miles from victory, and Fittipaldi swept around as a stunned crowd watched him take his first victory of the season. Even though Eddie's computer said go for it, the tank was dry, and his turn in victory lane will have to wait.
When the restart, it stuttered, and I couldn't come into the pits. I thought it was something wrong. I thought it was an air pocket someplace, but a real pity. The team did a great job. We had fantastic pit stops. We're behind the 8-ball up because we haven't tested, but I was very proud of what they did today. It was a very good
when that last yellow came out, you were then very confident you had enough to finish.
There was nobody out there that could have touched me.
No, I'd say disappointing times. A couple times I run out of fuel at Indy in 75, 76. But it's disappointing. But like I say, you know, that's racing. I feel bad for him and the crew. You know, I've won my share of races, but that's about all you can say about it, you know.
Pruitt went on to finish 10th and gets to spend the month of May as the IndyCar points leader by 4 over Jacques Villeneuve. With the victory, Emo jumps from 13th to 5th. For Speedweek, I'm Derek Daly.
Thanks, Derek. Our Nazareth note showed that Cheever's 3 top 7 finishes in the first 5 races is the best start for an A.J. Foyt team since Supertex retired. Fittipaldi's victory ties Bobby Unser's all-time record of posting a win in 11 consecutive seasons. IndyCar now has 5 winners in the first 5 races, 1 shy of the series record of 6 set in 1991. Greg Moore continues to dominate the Firestone Indy Light Series. On Sunday, albeit under yellow, Moore won his 4th in as many races. The Canadian, who turned 20 on Saturday, has also signed a 5-year contract with IndyCar owner Jerry Forsyth. Lights driver Claude Bourbonnais, who was injured during Saturday's qualifying, is in good condition after being operated on for a broken vertebrae by Dr. Terry Trammell. The surgery took place in Indianapolis on Tuesday, and Bourbonnais is expected to be out of the car for a minimum of 3 months. Wet skies also played havoc with the Fram Nationals at the Atlanta Dragway. Only 1 round of the pro category was completed on Sunday. Dave McClellan has Monday's story.
Thanks, Bob. It was a chilly day in Commerce, Georgia, as we saw several hot streaks come to an end. In Pro Stock, number 11 qualifier Mark Osborne met points leader Darrell Alderman in the final. The 2 cars staged, and when the green light flashed, Alderman's Dodge Avenger snorted flame out of the air intake caused by a broken distributor. He was stopped cold at the line as Osborne earned his first career victory with an ET of 714 and a speed of just over 184 miles an hour.
You've been trying so long to get your first victory. Today's the day.
Yeah, I can't say enough about my crew chiefs. I said chiefs now, Eric Lazinski and Ron Richards, and even my nephew stayed down and helped me. My wife, she went home last night. She said, you'll probably be in the finals, and I got it. I did it.
Number 1 and number 2 in the funny car points, John Force and Cruz Pedregon staged against each other in the finals for the first time this season. Pedregon smoked the tires off the line, and Force easily got his third victory this year. Plus, he picks up 67 points on Cruz. The gap is now 105. In Top Fuel, first-time finalist Ron Capps met the number 1 qualifying McDonald's dragster of Corey McLenithan. Corey Mack got the better reaction time and didn't have much of a battle, beating Capps to the line with an ET of 4.80 seconds and a speed of almost 299 miles an hour. It was the 6th career win for McLenithan and the first Top Fuel title for car owner Joe Gibbs.
Where's that put us points-wise? Someone said number 2 if he won this one. So I'll tell you that this kid's tough. We're going to have to catch him, but it may take a while.
Corey Mack did move to second in the points. He is now 55 behind Larry Dixon. Dunn falls to a tie with Coletta for third, and by making it to the second round, Kenny Bernstein moves from 7th back into the top 5. For SpeedWeek, I'm Dave McClellan.
Signaling the end of the Winston Cup short track season was last Sunday's Haynes 500 in Martinsville. And you guessed it, soggy skies delayed the beginning and darkening skies dictated the end. Bobby Labonte garnered his 2nd career pole and the 1st for Joe Gibbs Racing. But his stint up front was very short as Robert Presley took the early lead. As the field approached turn 4, Labonte was tagged from behind, causing him to spin. There was no yellow and Labonte had to settle in at the rear of the field. Just 4 laps later, the tight quarters of the half-mile oval got to this mid-pack group. Morgan Shepherd was bumped by Terry Labonte, sending the Citgo Ford into the outside wall. For the 2nd time this month, Dale Earnhardt had nowhere to go and hit hard into the rear of Labonte, lifting it off the ground. Labonte took the blame for the crash while Earnhardt headed behind the wall for repairs. Up front, DW gave Presley this little tap to pick up the lead, which he held until lap 40. Sensing that more rain was a probability, defending Martinsville winner Rusty Wallace flexed his short track muscle and took the front spot away from Waltrip. The Ford and Chevy drivers put on a good show that was unfortunately stopped well before the halfway mark by steady rain. After a 2-hour rain delay in which no work could be done on the cars, all the leaders except Waltrip elected to pit prior to the restart. With the fresh rubber advantage, Wallace reassumed the lead, as Waltrip also fell victim to the Roush teammates of Ted Musgrave and Mark Martin. With darkness approaching, NASCAR decided to end the race early, giving the teams a 10-lap warning. Wallace easily won his 3rd straight at Martinsville and perhaps more significantly, ended Chevrolet's 1995 Victory Lane domination.
This Ford really ran great today, and I was real happy with it. I'm taking it easy there, and right there at the end, almost got too easy. I looked in the mirror, and Teddy was right on my rear end, so I had to step it up. The guys, I lost all the radios. They quit working, and then I heard Robin say 3 to go, and I said, what? I can't believe we're going to end this thing this quick, but I really had a real hot ride today.
Earnhardt soldiered to a 29th place finish and takes a slight 8-point lead to Talladega. Jeff Gordon remains not only in 3rd, but is the only driver to lead every race. Rusty's win pulls him into the top 5 for the first time this season. He's only 129 behind Dale. Wallace's win was the 40th of his career, tying him for 12th on the all-time list with Tim Flock and Bill Elliott. Ricky Rudd's crew chief Billy Engel was fined $250 for a post-race altercation with Ted Musgrave. Rudd contends he was spun by Musgrave late in the race. Both teams met with NASCAR and there will be no further action. Jeff Gordon took the honors in first quarter balloting for Driver of the Year. Gordon has won 4 poles, 3 races, and garnered 9 first-place votes from the 12-member voting panel. Despite this being Ford's first win of the season, they only trail Chevrolet by 18 points in the manufacturer's standings. Crew chief Robin Pemberton was named the Western Auto Mechanic of the race. It was his first win with the Miller Genuine Draft Team since joining Penske South at the end of last season. A lot of money is on the line during Sunday's Winston Select 500. The points leader will receive a $100,000 bonus from Winston, and this race is also the second leg in the Winston Select Million. Daytona 500 winner Sterling Marlin has the inside track.
We got the same car back that we had at Daytona, and we tested this week and run off for good. And we'll just keep our fingers crossed and hopefully win it and get a little money from Winston and be in contention to win $1 million.
Following wind tunnel testing in late March, NASCAR officials have issued 2 rules bulletins effective after Talladega. Changes to all makes for Sonoma include raising the front air dam and shortening the rear spoiler. By Charlotte, the Ford Thunderbirds and Pontiac Grand Prix will have the air dam set at a clearance of 3 3/4 inches, and the rear spoiler will be modified to 6 inches in height. Our congratulations to the ESPN Speed World team for winning 2 Emmy Awards this week. The network was honored in the Technical Team Remote and Innovative Technical Achievement categories. Speed Week salutes the Speed World crew, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Coming off the corner, you can't drive 4 wide. You can't drive 4 wide. Oh, we got 3 cars, 4 cars involved. Oh, look at this. The back. Oh, 2, 3 cars together, a car upside down.
ESPN's Thunder has wrapped up in Ventura, and the series heads back home to Indiana with live coverage from the Winchester High Banks next Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Some of the best open wheel racing we've seen so far this season came in several different varieties last weekend. Here's Saturday Lightning's Dave the King Wilson to take us short tracking.
The SCRA moved to San Jose Saturday night for a wild night of racing. The action got started in the 3rd heat when Cowboy Craig Smith couldn't control his bucking race car and took this wild ride off turn 1. It was okay, though. In B main action, watch the lower left part of the screen as Todd Bomber comes flying into the picture and flipping down the backstretch. Oh, baby! Hang on, son. While at the same time, you're not going to believe it, in a separate incident, John Scott climbs over another car and completes a flip of his own. Everybody was okay. Moving into the 30-lap feature, with Steve Oslin leading, Corey Kruseman makes this move to go from 4th to 2nd past Ron Schumann and Troy Klein. We'll hear more from Kruseman. On this lap 6 incident, Gordon Rogers completed this incredible series of endos down the front stretch. When the ride finally ended, he climbed out okay. Kruseman caught leader Osling on lap 13, and the former TQ driver made it stick down the backstretch. Osling would eventually fall to 4th as Kuzman held off Ron Schumann to record his 3rd SCRA victory and his 1st of the season. He also becomes the 6th different winner in 7 events. Round 2 of NARC's Golden State Challenge took place Saturday night at the Santa Maria Speedway. The B-main feature action, Paul McMahon made contact with Bobby Elliott, sending Elliott flipping wildly down the backstretch. He was all right. The A feature was stopped almost before it started when pole sitter Lee Brewer Jr. made contact with Steve Kent in turn 1, sending Brewer upside down and out of the race. He escaped uninjured. On the 23rd lap, 18-year-old Brad Furr rode the wall between 3 and 4, finally tipping over. He was then clipped by Ronnie Day, who also went over. Both were okay. After winning the night before with SCRA, Brent Keating put on the wings and held off Kent for the victory. Saturday night, and the Outlaws invaded Benton, Missouri, where a standing room only crowd was there to greet them. Mark Kinzer jumped out to an early lead with Dave Blaney in 2nd. Kinzer avoided this incident involving Craig Hognett and Joe Gertie, who was done for the night. While trying to lap Jeff Shepard, Kinzer jumped the cushion and allowed Blaney to go by. Perhaps the best 2 laps of racing the entire weekend started when Blaney clipped an infield tire coming out of turn 4 and lost the lead to Kinzer. But Mark caught a rut, allowing the Buckeye Bullet to swing past on the low side. But Mark wasn't finished. He battled back underneath Blaney, sending the 2 side by side down the front stretch, with Mark taking the lead back in turn 1. Kinzer put an exclamation point on the pass coming out of 2 with this giant wheelie. Can he get out of the gas, though, and let Blaney back in front as the 2 almost made contact in turn 4. Later, Blaney caught a rut in turn 2 that allowed Kinzer to take the lead for good. Blaney would try to battle back, but he continued to find rough spots in the track. Kinzer tiptoed his way through the rough and tumble racetrack to record the victory, wrapping up a successful weekend in America's heartland.
Thanks, Dave. Now here's a look at the CarQuest calendar with events coming up. For all your auto parts needs, you'll find it at CarQuest. Dave Calabro is up next from the SpeedWeek newsroom with the latest qualifying and news. Dave.
Thanks a lot, Bob. The big news of the day comes from Talladega, where for the second time in a week, Ricky Rudd's team is hit with a financial penalty by NASCAR. This one is a $50,000 fine. That's the largest in NASCAR history. Officials found what they say is an illegal hydraulic system that would adjust the height of the rear of the car. Now, Rudd's crew chief, Bill Engel, will also be on probation for the remainder of the year. Terry Labonte gets his first Busch pull of the year and will lead Sunday's Winston Select 500 field. Loy Allen, who resigned from the Hooters car earlier in the month, is a surprise outside front row starter in the TriStar Motorsports Ford. Sterling Marlin, who we mentioned earlier, is going for the second leg of the Winston Select Million. He will start 7th, and Michael Waldrop is the top Pontiac qualifier in 10th. Starting positions 11 through 15 will be exclusively made up of Fords, including Musgrave, Todd Bodine, Mast, Shepard, and Speed. The top 20 spots were locked in during Friday's qualifying, and Dale Earnhardt will try to win the $100,000 bonus that goes to the points leader following this race. Here's a look at some of those who will have to go through second-day qualifying. Darrell Waltrip, two-time Talladega winner Bill Elliott, Rudd, and way back in 35th is Rusty Wallace. Defending world champion Michael Schumacher is back on top after Friday's first qualifying session for the Grand Prix of San Marino. Nigel Mansell gets his delayed F1 season underway. He could only manage the 9th fastest time. Back to Talladega, where the ARCA Food World 500K will run Saturday afternoon. Bob Schacht gets the pole, and he'll be joined on the front row by the surprising Doug Reed III. The defending Talladega champion Jeff Purvis will start 3rd. And finally, here are the top speeds posted today at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway by the rookies. Andre Ribeiro, the quickest at 216.5. Christian Fittipaldi was 2nd. Eliseo Salazar 3rd. Gilles de Ferran 4th. And Carlos Guerrero 5th. And, Bob, we did have one minor incident at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway during the rookie orientation program. Frank Freon spun. The car suffered some minor damage. Frank is okay. I know it's hard to believe, but the Indianapolis Motor Speedway opens for practice in just 1 week. I'm Dave Calabro. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Dave. I'll see you next from the world's fastest superspeedway for the Winston Select 500 live at 1 p.m. Eastern Sunday. We leave you tonight with a look at the last decade of the Rookies of the Year at Indianapolis. So long, everyone.